BakaMitai.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Teng-amnuay. Today, we are here to give an overview of the DORO enterprise as well as our implementation of the company information system. First of all, we will begin our presentation with the introduction into the company and its current information system and technologies. First of all, what is DORO? DORO is a Thai coffee shop founded in the year 1999 by Mr. V-RE-EIS. The idea for the shop originated from when he was developing new methods to grow good quality coffee for villagers in Chiang Mai. He started to notice that there are lack of good Italian coffee in store in Thailand despite doing business that involves exporting these coffee beans to Europe. With his familiarity with this type of coffee, he gained a desire to create a Thai coffee shop that served a true Italian style coffee. His vision, as you can see, was to provide Thailand with the smell and taste of high-quality coffee product at a reasonable price. DORO became a massive success in the country. The company was able to go from being a single gas station store into a well-known name that has over 130 branches around the country. As you can see, the store went through a major rebranding in the year 2016 under new leadership. The second generation of DORO leadership are the leg hands of the company. The three daughters of Mr. V-RE-EIS. First is the oldest daughter, Miss Pichamon, the chief operating officer of the company. Second is Miss Vanina, the branch experience director who is responsible for brand image and activities. And lastly, Miss V-RE-EIS, the supply chain director who is responsible for the company bakeries and factories. Next, I will talk about the current information system and technology within DORO. So the major systems implemented by the company was big data and digital communication. DORO decided to utilize big data in its implementation of its information system. It used its data analysis capability to introduce personalized experience such as menu recommendation and individualized promotion. They also utilized it to implement the company internal customer management system to help manage their own employees. In addition, they also utilize big data capability in analytics and predictive systems to forecast and determine what type of products are popular in certain areas or stores. When it comes to digital communication, they also have e-commerce, which was made available by collaborating with third parties such as Line and Grab, providing customer platform for online ordering. They also have social media such as Facebook, where the company advertises various promotions, seasonal menu, or discounts that are available.
What is our choice for ERP? At first, we selected Compare because Compare is a cloud-based ERP system which incorporates CRM elements. It is compatible with wide arrays of hardware, OS, browsers, and database. Compare system can be accessed from browsers to online users. This allows its users to utilize Compare service-oriented architecture and web service to integrate it with other existing business applications. Compare also has multilingual support. But when we reached the implementation phase for the Compare, a problem occurred. Compare has a document that is very hard to understand. After 2 hours, we still cannot manage to access the software and use it. It made us switch to ERP Next. The reason we switched from Compare to ERP Next is because of the easily understandable documentation, which allows for smoother integration of the system. It is used by business to help manage their different business functions like accounting, SCM, and CIM subsystem. The platform is also very flexible, allowing organizations to manage financial accounting, planning, and budgeting process, among others. ERP Next is very easy to install by just importing the file into the virtual machine. The application is designed for easy management with extensive features rolled into a single solution. Its user interface is easy to understand, and the software is highly compatible with other systems.
So, let's take a look at the diagram of the system. First, we build a system diagram based on DORO Talk. The current ERP system contains the customer relationship management, which deals with the customer, finance and accounting, which deals with the cash flow, and point of sale, which is the storefront. All these modules would exchange the data between each other, making them very efficient in terms of communication. However, one additional module component was also mentioned, which led us to the next slide. That is the supply chain management, which deals with the production and transfer of goods. The SCM is then added, resulting in 4 major components in the diagram. Now that we know which major components of the ERP system are needed, we have to pivot from the theoretical to practical situation. What we did is that we mapped what feature in ERP Next is needed to represent the components from the proposed diagram. Unfortunately, some modules may require many features of the ERP Next, but ERP Next is well versed in linking the data together, so that is forgivable. For the next few slides, we will be giving the reasoning why we need each feature for the module. For the CIM module, ERP Next provides a nearly self-contained CIM feature, which allows us to record our customer and what group they belong to. It also allows us to record where we get customer interest from, also known as the lead. One thing we need to borrow though is the loyalty program from accounts feature. This is for the membership function. Luckily, for the accounting module, all can be represented by the accounts feature of the ERP Next. This allows us to record the sales transaction and points redeemed in the loyalty program. As for the SCM module, we will need the stock feature such as the warehouse to record all the inventory goods we have, the material request for obtaining and manufacturing goods according to the bill of material, and the item and item group to record the data of raw material. The buying feature is also needed to record data of suppliers. As for the POS module, we will need a lot of features to make it work. We need the stock feature to have the list of what we will sell, the accounts feature to be able to issue sales invoice, the selling feature to have the item price, and the retail feature to contain the store information such as location. With all that said and done, here is the diagram for the ERP Next features, working together to represent the ERP system of Dioro. Now, we will see them in more detail in implementation.
Next is our implementation of our system onto ERP Next. We're going to follow along the steps we took when setting up the system. After the system is set up and running on the virtual box, we're greeted with a dashboard. To start off, we went to the stock system first to add items to indicate what type of item is available in the inventory of the different stores. Items like raw materials and utensils that would be used to create products and the products themselves are included, so that all can be accounted for. These items are mostly based on items that Dioro uses in their stores. We inputted its name, status, and item group to allow for better organization of these items. We also added these items' prices into the system as seen here. It lists out the item's code, brand of the product if it has any, while displaying the rate or the price of the item. For better organization of the different items, we separated them into the groups in the system, forming an item tree based on how Dioro actually grouped their products on their website. So the products are split into bakery products, beverages, catering, meals, and merchandising. Then we move on to the warehouse, the location that these items are going to be stored in. Since Dioro stores are in itself warehouses, we inputted the different branches into the system based on actual stores. The system listed in different warehouses as a tree, which helps provide an organized view on the warehouses. These warehouses are responsible for taking material requests from the store and determine its response to each of the requests. An example can be seen here where multiple purchasing was made from different materials. By clicking on one of these, we can take a closer look as seen here below and see the detail of the request. Here we can see the requested items, quantity of order, the destination of the order, and the required date. But before a purchasing order can be made, we need to create suppliers that would be responsible for supplying the warehouses with materials first. This leads us up to the buyer section of the system, where we can create a list of different suppliers for different materials that were used to run the business. Here's a list of suppliers we added into the system. We group them based on the materials or product they supply. Retail sales are grouped as raw material suppliers, while those that supply essentials like electricity are listed as follows: electrical and services. Each supplier is given a profile that lists out their information like contacts, location, and payment methods. Furthermore, the system will track the orders made to these suppliers as it will display what orders have been made, the pricing of that order that includes tax calculation, the targeted warehouse, and the required date.
After the SCM side is finished, we move on to the CRM side. Here we manage customer details like grouping, leads, and customer profile. First, we label our customers into customer groups for better organization and customer management. These groups consist of commercial customers like other businesses, individuals of all ages that visit the different stores, government purchase, and non-profit customers like charities. The individual customer group is also broken down into smaller groups. For example, the teenagers are split into college students and high school students. On the right side is the lead list. Leads are potential customers that may be interested in the products. It is listed so that we may work towards attracting them to our products in the future. After the customer group is done, we create Mr. Thor Odinson to simulate a customer profile in the system. The profile lists out the name of the customer, the group of the customer, the gender, the home, the tax ID, and the type of customers. Furthermore, the system also shows whether the customer is a part of the DRO membership program by indicating whether they are standard customers or premium customers. To do just that, we need to implement the royalty system, which leads us to the accounting system. The royalty system we implemented into the system is based on the real membership system, which has 3 different tiers: member, family, and VIP. All of these membership status are listed under the premium group, while normal customers are categorized as standard customers. The collection factors indicate how much the customer may spend in order to earn points that can be traded for rewards, while in reality, buying a drink from DRO as a member only earns 1 point. We simulate the system differently so that the different tiers will have different calculating factors in the system. Next is the tax. It helps indicate how much tax is calculated for each purchase made from customers. For this case, we input 7% VAT on goods into every transaction. After it has been inputted, it will be calculated automatically into transactions made in the POS system.
This leads us to the final part of the system, the point of sale. We have created a couple of POS profiles for some DRO shops, all of which can be displayed on the POS list dashboard as can be seen here. The dashboard displays the name of the different stores along with its status whether the store is currently active. It also displays the territory of each store, which dictates the operational area of each store. ERP Next also provides a pre-integrated POS system that cashiers can use to operate the store's register. Here, the cashier can input the customers and orders information from the transaction by selecting the ordered product from the interface. Once all the orders are selected, the total price of the order including tax will be displayed, which the cashier has to confirm to print out the order. And that is the end of the system. So, what have we learned from all this? Using ERP software can give us a lot of benefits. With ERP, companies can better plan their resources, balance and distribute work, and collaborate with suppliers. ERP gives companies real-time information and insight analysis, which leads to better decisions. ERP also helps automate the work process, causing workflows to be streamlined and simplified, improving productivity. And finally, reduced inventory costs and better customer relations will lead to better profitability. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention.